Hey yogis, it's Kirsten. Thank you for being so patient because I know the first video we did had no sound, so now we have sound. Let's make this endurance sequence work this time. So let's head over to our mats. Starting in a nice comfortable seat. If it feels good to sit up on a block or a bolster, please feel free to do that. So today's practice is for the endurance yogi. But don't worry, as you're not an endurance athlete, this is still a great cross-training sequence to help you work both core strength and unilateral movement with our core strength, which we all need because we move our limbs and it all stems from our core. So sitting up nice and tall, let's start by placing our hands on our ribs and let's start to feel the breath. So close your eyes and as you take a deep breath in, feel the hands start to push away as the ribs expand. And exhale. Feel the hands come closer together. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Stay with this. Feeling on each inhale the expansion of the ribs, not just out, but forward and back. And as you exhale, the fingertips of your hands start to come closer together. And then you inhale. Feel them pull apart. Exhale. They come closer together. And stay with this breath in through the nose and out through the nose. As endurance athletes, I see a lot of runners, even cyclists, and now they have headphones for swimmers, so you can listen to music. And while it might sound like a good distraction, one of the benefits of endurance, breathing in and out, is being able to connect our breath and our body. So it becomes a very spiritual experience. And as we're practicing today, we're practicing working with our breath and our movement just like we want to when we're out on the road or in the woods, in the pool, on the bike. Finding that breath, keeping it steady, and using it to help keep us moving. Good, you can release your hands down to your thighs. Take a deep breath in. Now open your mouth, sigh it out. Good. Another deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Good, slowly blink your eyes open and we're gonna end up on our backs. So, lying on our back, I want you to just take a moment and place your hands at your abdomen. And I want you to take a deep breath in. Feel that belly rise and exhale. Good. Now I want you to take a breath in, but see if you can keep the belly pretty much the same, but feel the rise in your chest. So we're just pulling in a little bit of the transverse abdominis coming around our waist. And as you exhale, you might feel it pull in a little bit, but it shouldn't be as drastic as when we let the belly go soft. So our engagement, especially as an endurance athlete, is just this light engagement. We're not clenching down in our core. I assure you, any endurance event, you will not make the entire time clenching your core. You'll stop either because your abs will hurt really bad or you have lost your breath. So with that small engagement, I want you to draw the right knee into your chest. Interlace the fingers, bring it to the front of your shin. And I like to kind of wiggle around, make sure my shoulder blades are in contact with the mat. And as I take a breath in, I'm gonna lift the hips up. Okay, pause here, toes are flexed back. Exhale, slowly lower back down, let the hips tap. Inhale, I come up. Exhale, I come back down. And if you feel like you're pulling your knee down, just place your hands alongside. But don't use them to help press you up higher. Use your glutes and hamstring on the left side to lift you. So even if it helps to just rest your hands on your belly, lift up, lower down, you can stay there. Lift up, and then lower the right foot down, keep the hips up. Doesn't have to be the highest, but just staying here for a moment, and then lowering down. Good. Left knee comes in towards the chest, interlace the fingers, toes are flexed back on the left foot. Inhale brings us up. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, tap it down. One more time. Inhale, lift it up. And then lower the left foot down, hips still staying up. Place the hands alongside and see now if you can lift the hips just a little bit higher. We're just starting, so it's not about the back bend. We're actually engaging the glutes a bit here. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lower yourself down. Good. Bring your left arm up overhead. You're gonna roll on to your left side. You're gonna use your arm as a pillow, and you're gonna stack your knees on top of one another. So you wanna keep a 90-degree angle in the body here. Toes are flexed back, feet will stay in contact. I like to place my hand on the outside of my right hip, and then you're just gonna open up, coming into a clamshell, and then lower it back down. So open and close. Good. So stay with this nice steady breath in, open, exhale, lower. Inhale, open, exhale, lower. Good. And as we start moving through this, we're really trying to target that glute medius. The maximus gets a lot of attention in endurance sports, but the medius is such an important muscle for stabilization. And a lot of times people will start to feel some of the IT band issues or even calf issues. The medius just isn't firing as well. And maybe right now your hip is talking to you a little bit. It means, hi, I'm awake. So that's a good thing. One more. Open and then close. Good. So you're gonna roll onto your right side for me. And we're gonna do the exact same thing. So using the right arm as a pillow, knees come forward for us, feet are connected, and I'm just opening up that hip. And again, I can place my left hand on the outside here. Good. And inhale, we open. Exhale, come down. So it's not about just flapping them back and forth, but nice and steady. You really want to feel that engagement. And if you're like, I'm really searching to try and find that muscle, then we probably need to do these a little bit more. But that's okay. That's why we're here, right? Good. Breathing in and out. Let's do two more. Open and close. Open and close. Good. Roll onto your back. Hug your knees in for just a moment. Maybe creating some small circles. Good. And then switch directions. Excellent. And then you're going to place your hands behind your hamstrings, and you're just going to rock up and down the spine, just waking it up. And then you're going to cross the ankles, plant the hands, come forward into tabletop. So in tabletop, I want your shoulders stacked over your wrist. Your hip is over your knee. The tendency is actually to bring the knee forward a little bit, slide it back. Fingertips are wide. Knees are about 2 fist distances apart from each other. And that gives us a nice stable base. Now from here, I want you to let your belly sink a little bit. Yeah, no, a little bit more. Now you got it, there you go. And then I want you to round it a little bit. And then find this neutral position. So at neutral position, again, that just tiny bit of abdominal engagement, keeping it engaged. You can tell, obviously I'm still talking to you and I'm not out of breath from that engagement. Now if I clench, you can see that my back starts to round and it's a lot harder for me to talk, right? So just neutral engagement here. My gaze is just ahead of my pointer finger or my fingertips at the front of the mat. And now I'm going to let the belly drop. My shoulder blades slide down and back. Chin lifts. Come into cow. And really just explore this left to right, front to back, to see that you're getting an even engagement between all parts of the body. And as we let ourselves sink here, now I want you to over-exaggerate, pull the shoulder blades apart, tuck the chin, coming into cat pose. And again, the tendency is to come forward, putting the weight into our wrists instead of keeping it centered over. So press back just a little bit, just like you do in down dog. Keeping those hips over the knees. And then breath with movement. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, we round. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, we round. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, upper back rounds. Good, and then come back to that neutral spine. So from here, we're gonna tuck the toes under. Really make sure all the toes are engaged. And all I want you to do is pull that belly button in and hover the knees. So the knees are like 2 inches off the ground, right? So we're just hovering, pressing into the mat. Core is engaged. Thighs are turned on. Hips kind of come up a little bit, have a tendency to do that. Pull it back under so that you can keep your core engaged here and keep the pressure on our low back. Try and wrap the triceps under. Stay with the breath. It's okay to shake. It means you're alive. That's a good thing. So keep pressing, keep breathing. Stay here for 3. Exhale it out. 2. And now a deep breath in. And exhale, hips come back up, lifting them up, dropping the head, downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, the goal isn't about getting the heels to the mat. The goal is length through the spine. So as runners or endurance athletes, we might have a little bit tighter hamstring. We can lift the heels, bend the knees, giving ourselves more length, pressing our hands into the mat. And I like to look between my ankles as a focus point instead of looking towards the navel, because I feel like looking at the navel really cuts off my breath. So looking down towards the ankles. And since it's your first, maybe you want to bend generously in one leg and then switch, stretching out the calf a little bit. It's really good. Need a little calf stretch as a runner, or cyclist, or swimmer, or ruck. Rucking is also an endurance sport. Good. So from here, what I want you to do is we're going to come down. Knees are hovering above again. So this is our pouncing puppy pose, right? And so from here, I just want to lift the hips back up. Okay, so we're going to exaggerate again. So draw those knees close to the ground. Use your strength and then press the hips up and back. Good. Take a deep breath in and reach the right leg high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, draw the foot forward, bring the foot between the front hands. Now we're going to use our weight to place it onto our thigh and shift forward. So you're going to come to the toes on the back left foot and just sink your weight down. And you can even walk your left foot in more and give it a bend. This is about stretching the Achilles in the right foot. So we're not in a traditional runner's lunge, but you want to get that weight onto the front leg. So the straighter you make the back leg, the more weight you can shift forward. If you bend it, you take the weight out. So want to give it a little bit of weight. I like to do tiny little micro bounce just to give some mobility, some movement here. And I'll shift side to side, la-di-da. Just gonna go for a stroll today. Good. And then I'm going to press myself back. Left knee comes down, lift the right toes up and back. And walk the hands back enough that you can keep your back flat. And you can always sit back onto that heel. Keeping those toes tucked under helps open up that foot. Good. And then we're going to come back forward, this time coming into runner's lunge. Chest is open, shoulders are down and back. This is a great spot for blocks. Placing our hands on blocks gives us nice leverage to open our chest. Breathe here. Breathe in, and this time you come back. You can either let the left knee tap and lift the toes, or sit back and hover the knee off the ground. And then come back, runner's lunge. Exhale, we come back. Inhale brings us forward. Exhale, you can drop that knee, come back. Depends how much quad you want. Inhale, come forward, runner's lunge. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg high. Exhale, left foot steps forward. And then, again, leaning that weight, placing your belly, and you might need to turn your belly a little bit to place your chest on there, and then lean forward, stretching out that left Achilles. And you can walk that back foot in a little bit so you can lean forward. You can even place both hands down on the foot, pinning it down, because you don't want the heel to come up. So if you go forward and the heel's coming up, then back off just a little bit. Again, if you straighten that leg, allows you to have more weight. You can bend the leg or rest the leg if you need a little less, or if you want to move side to side to get a little bit deeper into that Achilles. So staying here. And then pressing that right knee down to the ground, lifting the left back toes back towards us. Lift the chest. Good. Check in with your breath. Again, you can sit all the way back down on that heel, giving a little more opening to the toes and foot, but keep that chest lifted. Gaze is forward. Good. And then coming forward, runner's lunge. Knee is lifted, chest is open, hands can be on blocks. Roll those shoulders down and back, keeping a nice broad chest. Always come to your fingertips. And then again, coming backwards. We either hover the knee or let the knee come down, lift the toes up. And then we come forward. And come back. And come forward. And back last time. Hello, quads. And forward. Plant the hands, step back as softly as you can. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot steps forward, runner's lunge. Chest is open. Now, using your core, pull your belly off of your thigh. Reach the arms straight out in front of you. If this is too much, goal post the arms. But otherwise, arms are straight out. Trying to pull the right heel towards the left toes, engaging those legs. Good. Breathe. Relax the shoulders. And then using the strength of your core, you're going to rotate towards the left side of your mat, turning the feet in, coming into a wide leg straddle here. Arms are still extended or cactus. Reaching out, Using your core strength, take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the hands down, let the head hang. Maybe shake your head yes or no to relax the head. Stay here, stretch it out, breathe. Take a deep breath in, and as you take your deep breath in, press into your hands, lift your heels, and then you're gonna drop your heels in so toes are out, creating horse's stance. And you can always bring them in a little bit further. Bring the arms out to a T. So as we're here, opening my chest, I'm strong in my legs, belly's engaged. All I'm going to do, just going to hinge on the right and bring the right hand down towards the right ankle. It doesn't matter if it reaches the floor. It doesn't matter if it reaches just the knee. Big thing here, keep the chest open. So pressing that right arm into your leg. Chest is open. Breathe. That's the whole point, right? Be able to breathe, move through adversity. And then come back to center. It's all moving from our core. Using my left oblique, I crunch down, open, hold. Hold the position, not the breath. Keep breathing. And you can look down, or gaze up, or just look forward, and then come back to center. And then reach the right down. Back to center, left, center, right, center, left, center, hold, and then reach up, star pose, open up warrior to the front of your mat. So as you're getting set up, front right heel matches the back arch of the left foot, pressing into the back outer edge of the left foot as much as I am in my right. Don't let the knee collapse in. Pull that knee out. Arms are extended out. Shoulders are down. Chest is lifted, but ribs are knit down. Use your core. It is your strength. It is your center. Gaze off the front of the fingertips. Excellent. Flip the right palm towards the ceiling. Reach forward and then reverse it back. I like to place my left hand on my right ribs, breathing into the right side lungs. Keeping those warrior two legs though. The tendency is to want to come out. Stay in it. Breathe. I'm right there with you. I feel your pain. It's not pain, it's just fire moving through the body, right? Energy. Good. And then bring the right forearm to meet the right thigh. Reach the left arm overhead. Bicep in line with the ear. If you find that you're dumping into the right shoulder, press the shoulder away from the ear. You're using your core. So see, I can move my hand, I'm still in the same position. If I move my hand, I'm dumping, I fall down. No good. So you can always bring your hand straight up to feel like it's lifting you out if that's helpful. Otherwise, bicep is in line with the ear, shoulder is away from the opposite ear. Good. Then you're just going to pivot. Place the left hand down. Pivot the back foot. Reach the right arm high for a twist. Stay here. Stay strong. Gaze is either up towards your thumb or down at your hand. Again, trying to squeeze those legs together like you have a block between them. And then plant the right hand, step the right foot back. Tip forward, Vinyasa. Good. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhale, left foot steps forward. You're like, wait, not the right. Left foot steps forward. Staying here in that runner's lunge. Core is engaged. And then I'm going to reach my arms forward. Reaching those arms forward and strong. Again, can always goal post the arms. Stay with the breath. Using the strength of your core, you're gonna rotate to the right side of your mat. Arms are extended out or goal post. Pause there, flat back, and then plant the hands. Lower the head down. You guys are doing great. See, I can see you. Stay with it. Relax the head. Good. Take a deep breath in. Come to a halfway lift. Lift the heels. Drop them in as you come into horse's stance. Hands behind our head. Squeeze the shoulders back. And from here, I'm going to use my right oblique. Right elbow comes down, but don't let yourself fall forward. Keep that chest open. And then come back to center. Left is going to come down. Back to center. Right. Center. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. Reach tall, star pose, open up. Warrior two, front of your mat. Again, checking your alignment. Where is your knee? Keep the knee out. Heel to arch alignment. Arms are stretched out. Staying strong. Gaze is over the front fingertips. Doing great. Imagine you're trying to hug the left heel towards the right arch. Engage the adductors, those inner muscles there. Bring them to the party. Not a party till the adductors are brought, right? Flip the left palm, reverse. Again, you can take the right hand, bring it to the ribs, and breathe into it. Gaze can be up towards the thumb, or just down towards the foot, left foot in front, or even the back foot. And then bring the left forearm to left thigh. Right arm goes up overhead, either to pull us out if we're dumping, or bring it forward. Bicep is in line with our ear, core is turned on. Very light contact. There you go, good. Great adjustment. I can see right through the video. I know you're doing it at home. I believe in you. Excellent. Stay here. Breathe. Always return to the breath. Good, and then plant the right hand down. Pivot to the ball of the back foot. Lift the left arm up for a twist. Open that chest. Press the back hamstring up towards the ceiling. Good. Plant the left hand. Step the foot back. Tip forward. Chaturanga. Pause there for 3, 2, 1. Flip the toes over. Upward facing dog. And using your core. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Reconnect. Doing great. It's all about that consistency in our practice. Being able to show up, come to the mat, and just allow our breath to move us and commit to the practice wherever it takes us. Another breath in brings us to our toes. Gaze forward. Exhale. Maybe you hop and you just step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. You can always place the hands on chin. Pull the chest through. Exhale, you fold down. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. Exhale, hands slide through heart center. Release them down. Excellent. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank, pause there for a moment, find your strength in this position. Then pull the shoulder blades apart like you're going into a cat upper back. Lift the chest forward, come to the tips of your toes, bend the elbows, Chaturanga for 3, 2, 1. Flip the toes over, lift. And maybe you go for a double Chaturanga. And then press back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. Another deep breath in. Look forward, come to your toes. Exhale, hop, step, or jump in front of the mat. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, we release the hands through heart center, down to our sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Core is engaged. Pull the shoulder blades apart, tip forward. Chaturanga for 3, 2, 1. Flip the toes, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot steps forward, runner's lunge. Reach the arms straight out ahead. Using the strength of your core, rotate to the left side of your mat. Hold that straddle. Hands come down, lower the head. Another full breath in. Exhale it all out. Inhale, lift the heels, drop them in, toes are out, horse pose, wide arms. Bring the right hand down, back to center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, star pose. Open up, warrior 2, front of the mat. Flip the right palm, reach forward, reverse. Exhale, right forearm to thigh, left arm overhead, extended side angle. Plant the left hand, pivot to the ball of the back foot, right arm high. Rolling to the outer edge of that left foot, we come into side plank. And you can always either bring the right foot in front or drop the bottom leg. Wobble a little bit. Good. Plant the right hand, Vinyasa through. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot steps forward, runner's lunge. Arms reach out, or goalpost. Using your core strength, you rotate to the right side of your mat. Drop the hands, drop the head. Full breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, lift the heels, drop them in. Hands come behind the head for horse pose. Right elbow, right knee. Center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center. Reach tall, star pose. Open up, warrior 2, front of your mat. Flip that left palm, reach forward, reverse. And then bring the left forearm down, right arm overhead, extended side angle. Plant the right hand, pivot to the ball of the back foot, left hand to the ceiling. And then coming to the outer edge, right foot, you're coming into side plank. Core is strong, shoulder is hugged in. You got this. Stay with your breath. Find your strength. And then plant the left hand. Tip forward, Chaturanga. 3, 2, 1. Lift, upward facing dog. Roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Pause for a moment, then take the time to come up, crescent lunge. Breathe in here, find your alignment. Knit those ribs down and back, but pull out of your pelvis. Don't let the shoulders come up, relax them down. You can always widen the arms a little bit. Good. Press that back leg up towards the ceiling. Good. And open up, warrior two. Holding strong. Shoulders relaxed. Core lifts us out of our pelvis. Flip the right palm, reverse. And now you're gonna come into unsupported extended. Right arm towards left foot. Reach that arm. And then reverse it again. Maybe bring the left hand forward. And then extend it, unsupported. You got this. Open that chest. Reverse. One more time. Unsupported. Plant the left hand. Pivot for a twist. And come to the outside edge of the left foot. Come into a side plank. Now you can stay here or draw the right knee to right elbow. We'll go there 3 times. No, 4. No, 5, because we're endurance. We go the distance. Plant the hand. Vinyasa. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Pause. Establish your feet. Use your core. Rise up. Crescent. Imagine both of your legs are hugging a block in towards each other. Back hamstring. Press it up towards the ceiling. Find that strength length. Use your glute. Ribs knit down and back. Reaching tall. You got this. Maybe sink a little bit more. Get a little bit longer in it. Challenge yourself. Good. Open up. Warrior two. Excellent. And then reach back, reverse. And then coming into our unsupported side angle. Left hand, right foot. And then reach back, left, right hand maybe towards left foot. And extend it. Reverse. Extend it. And reverse. And extend it. Plant the right hand, ball the back foot, come to your twist. And then come to the outside edge of the right foot, holding in side plank, or left knee, left elbow. Why? Because we can. That's already 2, 3, 4, 5. Plant the left hand. Chaturanga for 3, 2, 1. Lifting up. And downward facing dog. Drop to your knees, big toes touch, rest your forehead, child's pose. Take a moment. Reconnect. Allowing ourselves to build some heat, but stay connected with our breath. So important, so important as endurance athletes. So if you are an endurance athlete who always drowns out their breath with their music, new challenge for you. Try and go for a run or a ride or a swim without music. Really listen to your breath. It tells you where you are and how to start adjusting your body, your alignment, and you'll have smoother transitions. A lot of wasted energy. You'd be surprised how many people roll their head side to side while running. It's a lot of energy, a lot of dizziness. So we want to take away some of those unnecessary movements, and we can correct them by connecting with our breath. All right, so if staying in child's pose feels good for you, stay there. Otherwise, tuck the toes under. Come back up, downward facing dog. We're going to go through that sequence one more time. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Draw yourself up, crescent lunge. Open up, warrior two. Flip the palm, reverse, and extended. And reverse, and extended. And reverse. And extended. Plant the left hand, twisting on the ball of the foot. Come into your twist. And then roll to the outside edge of the left foot. Stay here or crunch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay with me. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plant the hand. Vinyasa. One more side. Lift the left leg high. Exhale, step forward, crescent lunge. Open up, warrior 2. Flip the palm, reverse. Bring it into extended. And reverse. And extended. And reverse. And extended. Plant the right hand, come into your twist. Roll to the outside edge of that right foot. You can always do this from the drop knee. Draw it in. 1. You got this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stay. 7. Strong. 8, 9, 10. Plant the hand. Use your core. Tip forward. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Excellent. Whew. Sigh it out. Great work. Now you can drop to your knees, or if you're working on a jump through, you can work on that. Just bring yourself to seated. So we're gonna come down onto our back, setting up for bridge. So for bridge, I want you to have your heels close enough to your glutes that you can brush your fingertips. Fingertips are going to come up towards the ceiling. Roll out the arms. Puff the chest so you can squeeze the shoulder blades just a little bit. Pull that belly button in, just enough that it pulls away from the shirt. Lift the hips up. And if you want to place a block under here, it's a great time to take a little support, right? We all have our support crews out on that race. So this is, your block is your support crew. Feel free to use them. Otherwise, you can always interlace the fingers, shimmy the shoulders underneath, and press your head back into your mat a bit to create some space between your chin and your chest so you can really open the chest as much as possible. And key here, surprise, is staying with your breath. So check in with the breath. Whew. Looking good, feeling good. And then if your hands are interlaced, you can take them apart, move the shoulder blades back out, and then slowly lower yourself back down. If you have a block and you want to stay there, you can stay there because we're going to come up for another. So spread the feet mat distance apart, windshield wiper the legs to release the low back. And then we're going to set up for another. Yay! So your feet, again, draw the heels in close enough. Fingertips can brush against it. Roll out your arms, fingertips towards the sky. Puff the chest, pull the shoulder blades back just a tiny bit. Pull the belly button in ever so slightly. Raise the hips up. And then again, if you'd like to add a little core support, team support, you can bring that block back under or interlace the fingers. If you have a wheel in your practice, then you can always place your hands alongside your ears and press up into that as well. Otherwise, you can just stay right here and enjoy it. It's your time. Three more full breaths. Good, and slowly bring yourself back down. And then windshield wiper the legs. Excellent. And go ahead and bring your feet into Supta Baddha Konasana so the soles of feet are together. If this feels like a lot on the hips, you can always slide 2 blocks under so you can really relax. And let's just place our hands on our belly and connect again with that core center. Just remind ourselves that anything is possible. We just need to apply a little bit of effort. That little bit of effort is just that tiny engagement in that transverse abdominis, letting it help us as endurance athletes. So learning to work with ease within this strength, and that strength in our core again is just that subtle contraction. Good. And then use your hands, draw the knees back together. We're going to work on the inversion of your choice. So you can either place a block underneath your hips and come into a supported shoulder stand, keeping the legs up high, or you could always bring the legs straight up into a full shoulder stand. Remember that when you're here, you still want to squeeze the legs and ankles together. Maybe spread the toes up at the top. Using your core to help you. And you could always bring your feet behind you for plow as well. But otherwise, if you have a headstand in your practice that you would like to do, then now is a great time, whether it's a tripod or a basket. I like to work a bit on my tripod, even if it's just using the core and drawing the knees in. We can stop there or extend them up. Remember, with any inversion that you take, to come out of it just as slowly as you went into it. If you're in headstand, coming down into a child's pose. And if you are in shoulder stand, slowly bring yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae. If you have a block, make sure you remove the block. And then you can come to fish. So you can place your hands underneath your hips, pressing into your forearms, bringing the top of your head to your mat to counter pose. And if it feels better to take a supported fish, you could place 2 blocks, one underneath the base of your scapula and the other one behind the head. It might feel good to have them both at medium height if you want a little more intensity. Otherwise, put the one on your head at the highest level. That will take some of the intensity out. So staying here just a little bit longer. This is a good pose to do lion's breath. You just stick your tongue out and you're like, ha! No, you can. Nobody knows, you're at home. You can do anything. Good. And then slowly bring the chin closer to the chest, remove the hands, and then draw the knees in towards your chest. If you're in child's pose, find your way onto your back. Hugging your knees into your chest, you're going to start by dropping your knees over to the right. As you drop your knees over to the right, left arm is extended out, right arm maybe placed on top of the knees, gaze is to the left. So knees to the right, gaze to the left. Maybe gaze is just looking inward, so we close our eyes. And I like to make sure that my spine is tall, so sometimes the head comes close, the ear comes close to the shoulder. Picking that up in a way to create a little bit more length in the spine, so I can get more out of my twist. Good. And then come through center, and then drop the knees over to the left. Left hand on the thigh, right arm extended out, gaze over to your right. So Knees to the left, gaze to the right. And this is such an important pose to focus on that breath, because each exhalation really allows you to release and surrender into that pose, releasing the low back. Good. And then bring the knees back to center. And you can bring the hands outside of the feet, coming into happy baby, opening the hips a little bit. And if you feel like your hips are lifting a lot off of your mat, just grab your ankles so you can keep your back flatter. Really just seeing where your body is at today. Good, and then draw the knees back to center. And I want you to squeeze everything in so tight. So squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then release. Letting the legs fall open. Outer edges of your mat. Arms are wide. Just relax into Shavasana. Let the body feel heavy against your mat. Acknowledge the time that you've taken today to add this to your practice. It's easy as endurance athletes to feel like we just need to run more or cycle more or swim more. But we forget the importance of finding new ways to move our body that strengthens it and also strengthens us in our sport, but also allows us to find more mobility and flexibility. Such a crucial part not only of strength training and conditioning, but injury prevention. So as you rest in Shavasana, probably the hardest thing for an endurance athlete is to rest. Any athlete for that matter. But just take this time for you. Slowly invite the breath back to your body, bringing small movement to your hands and feet. And then when you're ready, you can draw your feet flat onto your mat and roll over onto your right side and just pause for a moment. And find your way up into a comfortable seated position. And when you get there, just sit up nice and tall and bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Recognize that you took this time for this practice to not only nourish your body and your muscles, but to start to connect the practice of yoga with the practice of endurance sports. That really we are all endurance athletes day in and day out, and we can always return to this practice to help remind us that in anything in life, it's so important to return back to the breath. Bringing your thumb knuckle to your third eye, I bow and honor the divine light in you. Each and every one of you, it has been a true blessing to lead you through this practice. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat. I look forward to the next time we get to practice together. Namaste. Thank you so much, you guys, for practicing. It's wonderful. Enjoy this practice. Enjoy the rest of the videos on this page. And remember to hit subscribe. You want to hit subscribe so that you get more videos like this. We'll have more full-length vinyasas coming your way, and I promise they will have sound. So thank you guys so much. You're amazing. Get out there. Go do your sport.